Hi guys, today we're going to make one of my favorite salads. It's a kale salad, and also it has on it one of my favorite dressings, Miso Tahini dressing. So let's get started. I love having greens as much in my diet as I can, so a big leafy green salad for lunch is what I usually like to do. I love salads. Not only do they taste great, you can get a lot of good veggies and healthy proteins, healthy fats, vitamins in there, but they're usually quick to make. You don't have to cook anything, so you get to eat them right away. And I just always feel really good and healthy after I have a good giant salad. Or a small salad. I feel good after any salad. So, what I started with is a bunch of kale, and I put it in this bowl. It's really easy to take off of the stem. You just kind of rip it off like that. And also, you can find sometimes kale salads pre-packaged in a bag, which is even easier. If you can do that, I recommend that. Then you can skip the whole washing and tearing apart the kale section. We are going to add some green onions. I've just chopped up, this is about 3 green onions. You can do more or less depending on how much you love onion. And just scoop them in there. You can also do red onions if you prefer. Again, green onions are super easy for me to just chop up. You don't have to peel them really. You don't have to take out the core. You don't have to cry when you chop them. So I like green onions a lot, and I like the flavor. Also, this has cranberries in it. Oops, I dumped a few out. So maybe about a ½ cup cranberries. I really love a little sweetness in the salad. So you can also use raisins. You can use pretty much any dried fruit. I've done apricots. You can do figs, whatever you're feeling. Now, the dressing is super easy. You just keep a lot of these ingredients on hand. You can whip it up in a few seconds whenever you want a good salad. So the basis of this is going to be some tahini. Tahini is actually just a puree of sesame seeds. So you may know how much I love seeds. The sesame seeds have vitamin E. They're going to have some antioxidants. They're going to have healthy fats. Also, whenever you're having greens such as this kale we're about to have, it's a good idea to have a little bit of fat with it, because the fat's going to help your body actually absorb the nutrients that are in the kale and in the greens. And kale has so many nutrients. It's got vitamins, it's got iron, it's got calcium. It's definitely a superfood because it has very, very little calories and mega amounts of benefits. So there I put a 1/4 cup of tahini, and I'm just using a little coffee cup to mix it up in. And then I'm going to use about a tablespoon of miso. Now, miso is just a paste. It's actually made out of fermented soybeans. It's used a lot in Asian cuisine and Japanese recipes. And it's a good idea to have fermented foods in your diet because, well, it's good for digestion, it's good for good bacteria in your belly, and it's good for your immune system as well. So there's about a tablespoon of miso in the dressing. Next, I'm throwing in some apple cider vinegar. So I'm doing about 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar. And if you can, use raw, unfiltered vinegar because you're going to get all the benefits of the apple cider vinegar, which is very detoxifying, cleansing, energizing. Some people like to actually take apple cider vinegar in the morning with water. For me, that's too intense, so I prefer to just put it into my salad dressing and get it that way. Next, I'm going to add a little garlic. And I love garlic personally, but maybe just about a teaspoon. There we go. Also, you can freshly crush garlic if you have a lot of time, which I don't, so I live for these jars of pre-crushed or chopped garlic. You can throw them in any recipe really quick, and they last for a long time as well. Next, we're going to do the juice of half a lemon. So just cut a half a lemon. I sometimes will squeeze the juice into a separate container so I don't get any of the seeds in the dressing. But if I'm in a really huge hurry, I'll just squeeze it right in there and try to pick the seeds out afterwards. If I miss a few, I don't really mind too much. Alright. And I see a seed in there, I'm just going to grab it. And then to thin this out, I'm just going to use some water in the dressing. So you can kind of eyeball it. Maybe start with like a 1/4 cup of water. And just start stirring it. If you keep this dressing in the fridge for a few days, it might get a little thicker, so then you can just add more water to thin it back up. It's also just a taste preference. Some people like a thicker dressing, some people like a little thinner, so totally whatever you're feeling. And just make sure it's really well stirred up. Now you can use different seasonings for this. You can add cilantro if you like it spicy. You can do cayenne pepper. You can do parsley in here. I've done turmeric with almost the same recipe. For this one I'm just going to throw in a little bit of ginger. I love ginger. But maybe just about a 1/4 teaspoon in there. And just a little black pepper as well. It doesn't need any salt because the miso paste is actually pretty salty, so that's going to give it a lot of really good flavor. So I've got it really well stirred. It seems a little bit thick for me still, so I'm going to add a little bit more water. Alright, that's all that goes into this. It's super easy. You can keep most of these ingredients around for a while, and the garlic, the vinegar, the miso, the tahini. The only thing that really goes bad for the dressing right away will be the lemons, but I keep a lot of lemons on hand anyways. So we've got the kale, the green onions, and the cranberries. I'm just going to pour this dressing over here. And you know I like to make salads or make anything and eat it right away. But if you are someone who can make it ahead of time, it's going to be good because the salad dressing is going to kind of soften up the kale. So just toss it around. Get it all coated. I probably should have used a bigger bowl for the amount of salad that I put in here. And I'm not afraid to eat this much kale in one sitting. I'm serious, get as much greens as you can. A giant salad is nothing to be ashamed of. Cruciferous vegetables like kale and cabbage and broccoli are actually essential in keeping away cancer. Alright, so it's all mixed. It's ready to go, and I'm going to go sit down and have a giant kale salad. Thank you so much for watching, and hope you enjoy your kale. I'll see you next time.